Okay, the game of the first weekend of the Six Nations, the big game, is France versus England. Very inexperienced French side when it comes to senior international appearances, but a lot of these young French players have won it at the age levels. They've gone with Entomac at 10. That's a big step by Fabien Galtier in his first game as coach. Teddy Thomas has been recalled on the wing. That again is a big call by Fabien Galtier, considering the ill discipline that was there under the Jacques Brunel era, especially after that game at Murrayfield a couple of years ago, where several players didn't behave themselves, and Teddy Thomas was thrown out of the squad and left in the international wilderness for a couple of years. Some big calls by Fabien Galtier, new captain, lots of young talent called into the squad. It's a very young French team today. It's going to be interesting to see how they perform at the senior level, but going with Entomac at 10, that is a big call by Fabien Galtier. Again, as I said in previous videos, he's not the starting 10 at his club. He's second or third choice at best, but he has shown when given responsibility at 10 by Jacques Brunel last year, he really did perform. He was one of, I think, the outstanding players that the French team had over the last 12 months. So Galtier giving confidence to Entomac, saying, you are going to be my starting 10. Considering that Fabien Galtier has come through the French club system as well in the top 14 as a coach since his retirement as a player. Some big calls made by Galtier. On the England side of things, we've obviously had the Saracens salary cap breach scandal and how that's still rumbling on. There's still going to be more fallout from that going into the medium and long term. How is that going to affect England today? We just do not know. Is it going to divide the dressing room or unite the dressing room, considering that a lot of the England players are Saracens players? Owen Farrell, the captain, is a Saracens player. It's going to be really interesting to see how Eddie Jones keeps a lid on that situation. The England team itself seems pretty settled. There's a couple of new faces in there, a couple of debutants in the squad, so it's a pretty solid England side, pretty settled. A lot of experienced players, and there's some good young youthful players being injected into the squad, which is always what you need. You always need that new conveyor belt of talent coming through. England, I think, would be favourites to win this game. But on saying that, this French side, young, inexperienced at this level, but young, talented, skillful, fresh-faced, they're going to want to put their marker down. This is always the biggest game, I think, in the French international calendar. Looking at England, it's always their biggest game, biggest rivalry for them when it comes to international rugby union. And the French have a habit of pulling shocks out the bag against England. They have a habit throughout the 5 and 6 Nations era. They have a habit of pulling one out the hat, so to speak. England off the back of that World Cup defeat as well. How's that possibly affected the confidence in this England side? We just don't know. France, it's a new era under Fabien Galtier. There is no pressure on Fabien Galtier from the get-go to win everything. But if the French come out like a freight train and play really well in the first 10-20 minutes, it could set up a thrilling 80-minute encounter. We know that the French have a high penalty count, and they do tend to tire in the second half of games. And they can be, all over the place when it comes to structures and structured play, really. And they're very unpredictable. This is an unpredictable French lineup in the sense it's very inexperienced, but a lot of these young lads for the French team have been winning at age levels, throughout the age levels going up, so they know each other quite well. It's going to be interesting. Entomac at 10 is a big call by Galtier. He's given faith in that young fly half. It's going to be a fun game. It's hard to predict. It could even be a draw, but I think it's going to be a fun, fiery encounter. Some of these young French players really want to put their mark on the international scene, and Teddy Thomas being recalled to the side. It's a big call by Fabien Galtier. He's possibly the best winger that the French have in their system. For me, personally, he's exciting, he's pacey, he's a try scorer. So they've gone with a guy who's been out in the international wilderness for a couple of years. That's a big call by Galtier as well, considering why he was out in the wilderness for his late night drinking antics up in Edinburgh a couple of years ago in the Six Nations. He got dropped from the squad. So some big calls by Galtier, but he's gone with youth and excitement and pace and skill, and still a powerful forward pack, but it's a different forward pack to the forward pack that's been there for France for the last couple of years. England, pretty settled squad, couple of new faces. The Saracens salary cap breach, how's that's going to affect things, but it's looking forward to be a titanic struggle in Paris at 3 o'clock. It's going to be fun in a couple of hours' time. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'll make sure I do a match review for you guys. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll have some more videos for you very, very soon.